Never make these 9 mistakes with your mind, because one of them could silently ruin your entire life. And here's the hidden truth. Most people are guilty of them without even noticing. So ask yourself, how strong is your mind really? And how many of these traps are holding you back right now? Your mind is your greatest fortress. It can carry you through storms, protect you from chaos, and help you conquer any battle life throws at you. But the same fortress can also collapse from within if you let cracks form. That's why today we're going to expose 9 dangerous mistakes you must never make with your mind. Each one of them can slowly destroy your peace, weaken your willpower, and keep you chained to mediocrity. But if you avoid them, you unlock a level of clarity and strength most people never experience. Let's begin. 1. The hidden trap of overthinking. Overthinking is like a thief that robs you in silence. You sit in bed replaying conversations. You analyze choices until the moment to act has already passed. You live in your head instead of in reality. And while your mind spins, your life stands still. The Stoics warned about this centuries ago. They believed that worrying about what you cannot control is the quickest way to misery. Marcus Aurelius himself wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Think about it. How many hours have you lost worrying about a future that never came, or replaying a mistake that no one else even remembers? Overthinking creates a prison where the walls are built from your own doubts. But here's the part nobody tells you. Overthinking often disguises itself as intelligence. You feel like you're preparing, analyzing, being careful. Yet in reality, you're wasting precious energy that should be used for action. The cure: decide faster, accept imperfection, and remember that clarity comes from movement, not endless thought. You don't need every answer right now. You just need the courage to take the next step. So ask yourself, how many dreams have you delayed because you were still thinking about it? 2. The silent poison of comparison. The second mistake is comparing your path to others. Few things corrode the mind more than constant comparison. You see someone richer, stronger, happier, and suddenly your life feels small. But you're not living their story. You're living yours. Epictetus taught that every person has their own role to play in life. Just like an actor cannot envy another actor's lines, you cannot envy another person's journey. The moment you measure your worth by someone else's success, you hand over control of your happiness. Here's the dangerous part. Comparison never ends. The moment you reach one level, you'll find someone higher, always richer, always better looking, always luckier. The trap is infinite, but the Stoic response is powerful. Focus only on what's within your control, your thoughts, your actions, your effort. If you do that, then success becomes internal, not external. And nobody can take it away from you. Next time you catch yourself scrolling through someone else's highlight reel, remind yourself, their victory is not my loss. My path is mine alone. But here's the question. How much of your inner peace have you already given away by comparing yourself to people who don't even know you exist? 3. The ruin of dwelling on the past. The third mistake is living in chains to the past. Regret, guilt, shame, they replay like broken records in your mind. You think about the things you should have done, the words you should have spoken, the chances you should have taken. But here's what the Stoics knew. The past no longer exists. It is an echo. It has no power over you, unless you give it power. Seneca once said, "Life is very short and anxious for those who forget the past, neglect the present, and fear the future. Every second spent dwelling on what's gone is stolen from the present, and the present is the only place where you can change, grow, and act." But here's the hidden cost. When you chain yourself to the past, you create a self-image that never evolves. You begin to believe, "I am my mistakes. I am my failures. And soon, you carry that weight into every new opportunity, poisoning it before it even begins. The antidote: forgive yourself. Accept the lessons and let go. The past is not a life sentence. It's a classroom. Learn the lesson, then walk out the door. So ask yourself, how many of your future victories are still being stolen by a past you refuse to release? 4. The weakness of seeking constant comfort. Comfort is seductive. It whispers to you every morning, stay in bed a little longer, avoid the difficult task, take the easy path. But here's the danger. When your mind becomes addicted to comfort, it becomes fragile. The Stoics believed that hardship is a gift. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily to expect obstacles, to welcome challenges, because each one was training for the soul. When you avoid discomfort, you avoid growth. And soon the smallest inconvenience breaks you. Think about it. Why do modern lives, filled with luxury, often feel so empty? Because comfort without challenge weakens the spirit. It leaves you restless, unfulfilled, and soft. But here's what nobody tells you. The comfort trap is endless. The more you feed it, the more it demands. And slowly, you lose the ability to face life's storms. The cure: choose voluntary discomfort. Take cold showers. Embrace silence. Do the work you fear. By training the mind to embrace difficulty, you create resilience that no external hardship can shake. So ask yourself, are you living a life of false peace, built on avoiding anything that feels hard? 5. The illusion of control. The next mistake is believing you control things you don't. We spend years trying to bend the world to our desires, other people's opinions, unpredictable events, even the weather of our destiny. And every time reality refuses to obey, we suffer. Epictetus gave the timeless distinction: some things are in our control, some are not. Peace comes only from mastering this difference, yet most people blur the line. They fight battles they can never win, while ignoring the victories within reach. Here's the hidden problem. The illusion of control creates anger, frustration, and despair. You blame others for not acting how you want. You curse fate for not bending to your will, and in doing so, you waste energy that could be building your inner strength. But when you release the illusion, a strange freedom appears. You no longer demand the world to change. You change yourself. You no longer fight the waves. You learn to surf them. Ask yourself, how much of your suffering comes not from reality itself, but from your refusal to accept it? 6. The trap of negative self-talk. The sixth mistake is turning your mind into your own enemy. You tell yourself you're not good enough, not smart enough, not strong enough, and every time you repeat it, you carve it deeper into your identity. This is one of the most destructive habits because your mind believes what you feed it. If you constantly whisper poison, eventually your actions will mirror that poison. The Stoics taught that your thoughts shape your world. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." But here's the hidden truth. Negative self-talk often disguises itself as honesty. You think you're being realistic by reminding yourself of your flaws. But realism without hope is just despair dressed as truth. The Stoic practice is to replace destructive thoughts with rational ones. Not blind positivity, but disciplined clarity. Instead of, "I can't do this," say, "I will do what's in my control and accept the rest." Instead of, "I always fail," say, "I learn every time, and that makes me stronger." Your mind listens to you more than to anyone else. Make sure it hears words that build, not words that destroy. So ask yourself, if you spoke to a friend the way you speak to yourself, would they still want to stay by your side? 7. The prison of fear. Fear is perhaps the oldest enemy of the human mind. It freezes you before opportunities. It whispers reasons to avoid risk. It convinces you to stay small, to stay safe, to never step beyond your comfort zone. But here's the truth. The Stoics knew. Fear is almost always an illusion. It's a shadow larger than the object that casts it. Seneca said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Fear magnifies the unknown until you surrender to it. The hidden cost of fear is not just missed chances. It's the erosion of your spirit. Every time you choose safety over growth, you shrink your own potential. The Stoic way is not to eliminate fear. It is to act in spite of it. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the mastery of it. When you walk into the storm willingly, you discover the storm is never as powerful as it seemed. So ask yourself, how many victories have you already buried under the soil of fear? The cas de débandade, the disease of distraction. The eighth mistake is allowing your mind to be constantly hijacked. Endless notifications, social media scrolling, chasing every new piece of entertainment, your attention is scattered like leaves in the wind. But the Stoics valued focus. They believed your mind should be disciplined, sharp, anchored in the present. Because if your mind belongs to distractions, it no longer belongs to you. Here's the hidden danger. Distraction feels harmless in the moment, but over years it destroys your ability to go deep. You lose the muscle of concentration. You trade greatness for trivia. And here's what nobody tells you. The world profits from your distraction. Companies fight for your attention because your focus is the most valuable resource you own. If you don't learn to guard it, you'll live a life designed by others instead of one designed by yourself. The cure is simple but powerful. Cut noise, build rituals, reclaim your focus. Even a few minutes of true clarity each day is worth more than hours of scattered activity. So ask yourself, are you truly living, or are you just endlessly scrolling? 9. The burden of resentment. The final mistake is carrying resentment, holding grudges, feeding bitterness, thinking constantly about those who wronged you. It feels like strength, like justice. But in reality, resentment is poison you drink while hoping someone else will suffer. The Stoics taught forgiveness not out of weakness, but out of wisdom. They knew that resentment enslaves the mind. Every time you replay the offense, you relive the pain. And in doing so, you give your enemy power over your present. But here's the truth. Letting go is not about excusing others. It's about freeing yourself. Forgiveness is the key that unlocks your own chains. Ask yourself this. Why carry the weight of someone else's actions on your back when you could walk lighter, freer, and stronger without it? If you've made it this far, you've already proven something powerful. You are serious about strengthening your mind, and that means you're not like most people. You're seeking clarity, wisdom, and transformation. If these lessons resonate with you, imagine what more awaits on this path. Like this video, subscribe, and join this growing circle of seekers. Those who follow this wisdom attract more clarity and strength. Walk with us, and let's go further together. The mind is your greatest fortress, but it's also your greatest battlefield. Avoid these 9 mistakes, and you'll unlock a strength that most people never discover. But remember, this is only the beginning. The next lesson may surprise you even more, because it reveals the one practice that Stoic philosophers believed could outshine every mistake we've talked about today. Are you ready to discover it?